All right, we've got the recording on. We are working on manage contacts, the manage contacts part of the software, the CRM. This has to do with managing the contacts, how they come in, what we're doing with them, how we organize them, etc. So first of all, we want to make sure that you have the right resources. So the help.infusionsoft.com is our help center, and I'll show you that in the application. Learn.infusionsoft.com is a fabulous marketing tool. There's a lot of fun things on there to learn anything from, well, just kind of a little bit of everything about marketing. So we also have a user guide inside the help dot. We have tech support numbers, access to mastermind webinar recordings, and of course basic training. Oh good, Milagro, thank you. So this is what we're going to go over today. We want to know exactly how to add a contact, and there's several ways to do it. A few different apps that we recommend, introduction to tags, how to do a simple import, going over a couple of different ways to view your list, different ways to search for a contact, save a search, how to add a tag to a contact a couple of different ways, and then take a look at the contact record in detail, and then also to save that search to your dashboard. So Customer Relationship Management, CRM, helps us keep track of communications. This is the part we're going over today, keeping track of important details, and then keeping track of what list the contact belongs to, and then also keeping track of tasks or appointments. We have a mobile app. Hello, Shannon. I see you popped on. Real quick, Shannon, in the question box, could you let me know on a scale of 1 to 5 where you are as far as learning Infusionsoft? Are you a baby, teenager, or adult? I'm a teenager. Staff and babies. Okay, that's what. Excuse me. That's what I like to know from the very beginning to see kind of where I need to start. Most of us are babies in the class today, so we're going to start there. So the mobile app is something super convenient. You download it on your smartphone. We have, hello, Lillian. I see you just popped on. Welcome. Oh yes, Shannon, I totally understand. Great. So the mobile app, you download it on your on your smartphone, your snap phone, and it is something called Mobile App Snap. So we have another application that we used to have separate. It was called Snap by Infusionsoft, and it was super cool. What it does is it allows you to take a picture of a business card through your smartphone. It goes off into Never Neverland for transcription. Then it comes back and says, hey, your card is ready to, has been transcribed, is ready for preview. And then you get to tag it, and we'll talk about tags in a minute, and then send it on to a campaign or into a certain pile in Infusionsoft. So we also have an app or a sync for Gmail. And this is what it looks like on the right-hand side of your Gmail screen. It would have their information on the right with pending tasks or notes or the information that would be in that sidebar on your Gmail. If they are a contact in your Infusionsoft and in your Gmail, it will pop up. If they are not, it'll just have a regular screen on the right-hand side with no contact. You can, and then a way that you can actually add that contact to Infusionsoft. Same thing for Outlook. The sidebar is a little more extensive here. We have notes and file box and follow-up sequences and tags, and so the connection here has a few more things in there. If you need something like that, it's great. So I mentioned tags. Tags are used to help organize your contacts inside Infusionsoft. So here's some tag examples. prospect, customer, dog lover, cat lover, a dental phobic. So all of these are nouns, person, place, or thing, but we also have the verb, the action. So we have attended, requested, visited, opened, and clicked. So how do we follow or watch the history of that customer or that prospect? So tags are a wonderful way to create that history in a contact record, to see your engagement of that contact. They can start out as a prospect. Eventually they turn into a customer. The prospect tag is removed. All of that can happen automatically, and you can see this in just a second. An Insider's Guide to Mastering Tags and Categories in Infusionsoft is going to be sent to you this afternoon. It's one of our little goodies that we send you. And it just helps you create some understanding behind it. So you can apply a tag or remove when doing an import on individual contact records to an entire group. I call that mass tagging, using Infusionsoft mobile app, the one that we just talked about with Snap, and then automatically in a campaign and automatically in an email link. So when adding a contact, we always have to ask permission. You're going to be receiving an email resources handbook that will help you with some compliance rules, how to best practice when adding people to your database. So we're going to also do an import. When importing contacts, make sure that you clean your list, get rid of fields you do not need. Make sure that your list is current. That's a big number one priority. I would make that first. And then organize your list before importing. It's so much easier to be cleaning up a CSV file or what am I trying to say, Excel spreadsheet. It's easier to fix that on the front end, then go ahead and import it with proper information. And then checking for duplicates, and we'll look at that in a minute. So the challenge today at the end of this class is that you will be able to add a contact, get our mobile app if you would like to, try using Snap in the mobile app if you want. It's a lot of fun if you want to try it. Create a few tags, add a tag to a contact record, do a small import, search based on a certain tag, and then my favorite is make Infusionsoft yours. I have been with Infusionsoft for 5 years, but prior to that, I used it for about 5 years. So I knew exactly the power behind it, and I learned to love it. And that's so important, to be able to get in there on a daily basis, start playing with it, make it yours, create searches that you need, and your dashboard that's super customized to what you need to see every day. And Corey's asking, did you mention the name of the app? Sorry, I missed that. So the app is called, I think it's Infusionsoft Mobile-Snap. Let me see that. Mobile app-snap, I think it's Infusionsoft Mobile-Snap. So try looking for that in the App Store, or in the Apple or the Google Play. Google, whatever you call that. I'm not a Google person. All right, so let's get into the app right now and get going. We're in My Application. There's going to be a lot of silly things in here, but I also use it for my personal things. And with teaching this class every week, I make up names, and so you'll see some silly things in here and some random tags and stuff. But I will also show you how it's actually used. If this will ever open. I think my internet's bad in here. Oh, we've gotten a couple extra people in here. Hello. Corey, Laline, Matthew, Milagro, Shannon, and Celine. If I say that right, I'm not sure. There we go. All right, so what we're doing, we just logged in, just got to my dashboard, and yours is going to look a little different because this is the customizable area. What we want is you to be able, if you're going to be in charge of your sales pipeline or tasks and appointments or different things in the application per your job, you need to have that available to you, just like your desktop calendar and things like that. So it's super easy. So we'll go over how to create that customization in just a few minutes. But first, we want to talk about how to get into different things. So what I'm doing is taking my cursor and just hovering over the upside down arrow over here, and the navigation bar opens up. So yours is going to look a little different as well. So I have my nav has things in here that I want to be able to quickly see. It's just your favorites. So you can edit that and add or subtract what you want. So if you are the person that's going to be over the CRM part of things, then you want to pull your contacts in here. If you're the one that's going to be creating campaign builder, just creating campaigns, you want that in that section. Or if you're the one that's going to be doing the newsletter every week, you want your email builder in here. Click on done, and then that stays there, just your favorites. So over here to the right, you have a little house, a clock, a star, a little icon, a person, and a question mark. We'll start in the question mark. The question mark is that help center that we talked about in the very beginning. We have Ask the Community, which is a new feature, super neat. You can create a login there and talk to other people with Infusionsoft and ask questions, do searches, etc., etc. It's pretty neat. You have a help center. Let's go to that. Here's our home page that has some instruction manuals you can browse. The community again. Webinars. Obviously, you know how to get to the basic training because you signed up for this. And then Infusionsoft Mastermind. Let's look at that one. This one is a weekly webinar given by Jordan. It's, I believe, 60 to 90 minutes, depending on the topic. You can sign up for it here and get a text reminder. And then also, it has marketing information as well as digging into specific things in Infusionsoft. So anything from order form customization to the perfect customer lifecycle, which this one is just marketing, but this one is deeper diving into Infusionsoft. So these are all the archived videos, and then you can get text reminders, and they're usually on Thursdays, I believe at 1 p.m. Pacific. Then we have a user guide. So the user guide is for people that like to do things step by step, see things and read things step by step. So if we were to look at how to create an order, we want to create a manual order. It's going to give us that step-by-step instruction with screenshots and, if available, a quick little video on that specific topic. Then we go to the video section. The video library does exactly the same thing, just in visual form. So let's go to Manage Tags. And you're going to have a quick little 3-minute video. I don't know how long this one is, but it's super short on just managing tags and not into a whole bunch of other stuff. So it's super convenient. Then you have a pro tip video series, and this is for mainly Campaign Builder. There's a couple other things in here, but campaign timers and decision diamonds, goals, campaign performance, and starting a campaign. These are some gotchas that a lot of people just don't get into yet, and then they'll come up with a question like, now what? I don't know how to use this, and this is just quickly going over those specific items. Then we have support, API, in release notes, user groups. User groups is a fun alternative as well. Not alternative, a fun something to join if you are able in your area, or you can start your own user group. So you can click on that. Let's see what it does. It used to see, you'd have, yeah, okay, here you go. So you fill this form out, and then the user group person on our end will connect you to the user group in your area, or maybe you want to create one. And it's a monthly thing, and it's pretty cool. We have one that meets here once a month, and in our other building, and they talk about anything from, it's just kind of like a networking type of thing, but also talking about specific items, specific topics in Infusionsoft and marketing stuff. All right, so let's get into the nuts and bolts here. We want to add a contact first of all, and to do that we have, I would say, I think there's about 4 ways to add a contact in Infusionsoft. So first we have the easy add here. We have this little plus sign, adding a contact here. It just is requiring a first name and an email and a phone. I guess it's not required, but you can. It's just a short little form here. Then we also have another one, another way. We have contacts and slow in internet. Oh my goodness. I'm in the webinar room and it's super slow. All right, so now we have the contacts and add a contact. And this is going to take us to a standard contact form, advanced add contact form right here. What this does is it allows you to type in a whole bunch of information. We have secondary addresses, additional information, more email addresses, phone numbers, person notes, and then yours would have something called custom fields. So in general, we have basic information here that none of these are custom fields. But if you need something like favorite food or eye color or hair color, you want to create a custom field that would contain that. So in my case, I have a couple of different custom fields that I've created. I was my class reunion creator, so I created a class reunion form, a questionnaire to send out that had a bunch of different questions on there. I also do Santa letters, so I sent out a form to parents to have them send me information about their children. I also sent out a questionnaire to my coworkers to find out how they want to be led. The best way, how do you like to be led? What's your favorite, one of your favorite quotes? They fill this out and it stays in their specific contact record in a custom field. I created this. It's not a general field from Infusionsoft. Someone is asking if I want to add country for a contact from an opt-in box. Would that be into the billing address on the main contact sheet? Yes, it would. I'll show that to you. So on the general form, we have country here, and it would be just a quick drop down. And that is in a specific, it's in the address form in a form, it's a specific field, and it's not a custom field. If you're going to create a custom field with that, it won't come into this section. The custom field would come into back here in another tab, and you want it to show up under billing. So let's add a contact. Todd at Disney.com. That's my fallback here. I always use Disney. Okay, now you'll notice that the little yellow box just popped up that says I have permission to send marketing to this address. And that is super important that you pay attention to that. If I don't click that and I want to send marketing emails to Todd and he gave me express permission, then I would not be able to send that. It wouldn't allow me to send him a broadcast or put him in a campaign. But I could email him on the side. So just one-off emails from myself I could send. But I really want to send him a newsletter. So I have to make sure that I've made him marketable. Click on Save. And it will update next week. Here we go. Got Todd and Todd at Disney.com. He is marked unconfirmed, meaning he is a marketable contact. It would say unmarketable here if he was not. If you do double opt-in, if you have you'll get into this when Judy teaches on Thursday in the Campaign Builder, we have something called a double opt-in campaign, allowing them to fill out a form to opt in for that, say, an ebook. Then they click on, they fill out the form, they open another email when it comes to them that says, hey, thank you so much, Todd, for requesting the ebook. Could you please confirm your email address? And as soon as they click on confirm, or they click on their email address to confirm that, then what it does is confirms their email address here and puts them into confirmed status, which they are just a double opt-in. And I always call it a golden contact. So if you have if it's in your business model and it does not create a barrier to getting leads coming in, a double opt-in is always preferred. So let's add another contact. Let's come over here to a little plus sign to the easy side, and we'll say Sam. And an email address. And again, I have permission. Yep, Sam gave me permission. She wants to receive my ebook. I met her in the elevator and she verbally gave me that information. I save it. Let's look at Sam. All right, now we have Sam, unconfirmed, her email address. Now Sam and Todd are just off in the abyss. They have I don't know who they are in my app, and that's where we come to tags. We need to talk about naming our people. So Sam needs to be in our free ebook requested, and Todd needs to be on my newsletter list, but they're just off into Never Never Land right now. We need to tag them. So this is where we would manually tag them on their contact record. So let's click on Manage Tags. And we'll tag them. She wanted to be in my ebook. So free item. This is just for silly stuff here. Let's tag her CCM, apply this tag. So let's pretend that this is my ebook. Actually, we can create that tag. Create a new tag. Let's say requested free report, free ebook. We'll add a new category, and this is in my free downloads. Create and apply this tag. All right, so now let's go back to we need to save that first. Now let's go back to the general page and look at Sam. So now Sam has requested the ebook on 10/3/17 and CCM, no category. We also could go back to Manage Tags, scroll up, and get rid of the CCM because she's no longer in that category. Click on Save. And here we go. Scroll down and we have tags requested for ebook. Now let's look at, I want to show you what manage tags again. So you'll notice, and this is kind of a bad example again, I'm so sorry, I need to clean these up, but you'll see that on the left-hand side are different categories. And here's a good example. I am proud of this one for you. So MHS contacts, this was my high school contact category when I did my reunion. I wanted to put all of my tags that are associated to my MHS contacts in one place. So I categorized them with MHS. Now if I look at this, there are about 30 in here that have to do with MHS. They have nothing to do with eye color or CTA. So I want to tag them. It's just an easy way to organize. So I'm getting a question. I want to launch a campaign for people in a specific country. Am I better off tagging each country or using the billing address country? I would just use the billing address country. It is a drop-down and easy to do a search for, and I'll show you that in a little bit. So within your category, you have tag items. So let's look at another one. No, let's just continue this one. So I have mixer, needs a hotel, no reunion committee. I'd sent out a form that asked if you wanted to be part of the reunion committee or not. Organized golf event, if they wanted to play golf during that weekend, or if they're planning on coming, if they're going to be bringing a guest. So there were several things that I could get from that form that went out. And then it was able to tag them and then send them or tag them and put them into a pile, into that category. So let's go into Todd's contact record. And Todd, under this little clock here, this brings up your recent contacts that you were playing with. So it's Todd at Disney. He's unconfirmed, but he is naked. He has no last name, nothing on him. So we need to put him in a pile, into a category. So manage tags, and let's make him part of my high school contacts. So MHS contacts, he is planning on coming. So let's do planning on it. And apply. And then also, he wants to come to the meet and greet at the bar or restaurant. He would like that. It was on the survey. And then save. Now let's look at Todd's tags here, and we have meet and greet at the bar, and he's planning on attending. Those tags were applied on that specific day. Now, let's take a peek at how to do a search for those two things. So we're going to go to Contacts, View Contacts, and there are some different ways that we can do searches. So I'm not quite sure how to pronounce your name, but Iltaf? Maybe. Sorry if I just butchered that. Iltaf. Good. Yay. I'm going to show you how to search for a country record in just a second, but I want to do a search with a tag. So we go to the contact record, a contact search, and do a new search, and then we're going to find a tag. So I want someone that requested the free ebook. So all I have to do is type in free, and these things pop up. So requested free report, free ebook, let's do that one. And then we search. So there's Sam. Sam requested the free ebook. Now with Sam, we can write him a note or write a note in his record We can add a task or see what tasks are associated to him, an appointment, send an email from here with a template or without a template, both ways. We could create a quote and then create an order from here, see what tags he is associated with, and apply right here. Add our tag and apply, and there we go. Or remove it. We could fill out a form, an internal form from here, and it would populate the information in here. So let's do a test ad, fill out the form. And what it's doing is pulling the information that it knows. So Sam at Disney, and what was the lead source? This is the only thing that we have to fill out, and then save. And that allows us to see when he came in, what form he came through, submitted by who, and here is the form URL. And this is an internal form. Then we have what campaign Sam is associated with. And because he filled out that form, that you don't understand this part yet, but when you see Judy's webinar on campaigns, you'll be able to understand this a little bit more, that this internal form lives in the campaign builder. So I created that form to then take action after that form is filled out. So I fill out that form that says it's a phone lead, that the person came in through a phone. The minute I click on submit, he's already a contact in my record. You saw that, it was populated already, that it then will send Sam into that campaign by just filling out that internal form. The same happens with an external form. You fill out a web form on your website or social media or wherever you want to put that URL. They click on the link and then they get fed into a campaign or just into Infusionsoft as a contact. If you're using the sales part of Infusionsoft, you would be using something called opportunities, building a sales pipeline, etc. And then also you have something called a lead score. And this is what we'll get into this at the very end. You have criteria that you can build or create and what is important to your business model. And upon that criteria, they get points or points taken away. And for filling out a web form in my situation, in my contact, or in my Infusionsoft, I have a +3 that gives them points, which then builds their lead score. So let's go in and take a peek at what the lead score looks like on the contact record itself. Go into Sam, and on the right-hand side, you'll see these little flames. He has 3 flames out of 5 because he filled out a form that was important to me, and that shows me that he is engaged. He's anxiously waiting for something new, and then as he clicks on something more and more, his flames will be added upon, and then action can be taken inside the campaign builder. I can see that happen. It's automated. So as soon as he hits 5 or even 4, whatever is important to you, you can have automation happen that you would get a task to reach out to Sam and say, hey, I see that you are an engaged customer or prospect or whatever that is, and then either sell him on something or work with him even more because he's so interested in your business. So that's a really cool little feature there. Let's go do a simple import. So importing is found either on your dashboard because you have a contact widget in there, or importing lives in admin over here into import data. So what I like to do is get my CSV file all ready. All the fields are how I want them. The field headers are correct, and I click on Go. You also have tools that you can use if you've used Aweber, Constant Contact, or these in the past. I don't recommend these. I like to just put it into a file as a spreadsheet that turns into a CSV file, and get them all cleaned up in here. I click on Go. I can watch a little video about that import or creating or learning a little bit about how to import, but also I could download a sample file. And I have that sample file right here, and I'll show that to you. Maybe, gotta find it. All right, so you can download that sample file, and it looks pretty close to what this is. Here's first name, last name, and here's a couple of, these are some fields that I put in. Company, lead source, job title. Now, contact notes, this is really important. It's how you met this person, where'd they come from, a little special stuff about them. This is your relationship note area. Tags, who are these people and what are we going to do with them? So you'll see this little tip right here. It says multiple tags can be entered and separated with a comma. So prospect, comma, newsletter, comma, event attendee, newsletter, comma, customer. So what that does is it will import this name here, prospect, with John and attach it to John as a tag. So we'll see that in a minute. And Mindy, newsletter will be a tag, and customer a tag. And then you have email and all the other information here. But contact notes is going to go into a section called person notes on the contact record. It is not a searchable section, but it is, as I mentioned, a relationship note section. So if I were working a contact and tomorrow someone else is going to take over that contact, it's important for them to see these type of notes. And then also we have actionable notes. And this is not an actionable note. This is just where they came from. So let's browse and upload that people sample. Maybe. There we go. Click on Next. And you're welcome to download that file just for your own, just to kind of compare things or even use it. You can use that file and format it to the different fields that you need. So in my file, I have first name, last name, DOB, which probably would look like this. Owner, which would also be a custom field, and this is also a custom field. So let's pretend that this is what it looks like when we import. So DOB, date of birth, who's owning that, and here's just a something field. We have company and lead source, and then contact notes. This is the relationship notes. We have tags. This would also possibly look like this. So what we need to do is go in and create a new field for those specific things that aren't matching up. So as you can see up here, field matched to an Infusionsoft field. The little yellow yield sign says field not matched yet. Find a match or create a custom field. The little stop sign says you choose not to import this field. So let's go to DOB, and we're going to find date of birth or birth date in our additional fields. It's not a custom field, it's an additional field. So we have our general fields here. Scroll down, phone, billing, shipping, optional. Remember, these are tabs that were up at the top of the contact record. And we have additional right here. This is the third tab that we'd come to on the contact record. And we have birth date. Let's do owner. Owner is not in here. So I really don't think we need it. Let's do not import this field. And then here's something. let's do create a custom field. Add a custom field, and let's make this custom field a phone number. No, let's make it a text area for fun. We'll call it stuff, and it's not required. We'll save this field. Scroll down, tags. Our tags need to be create tags from your field values. Scroll down, everything else looks good, it's matching. Click on next. It's asking, does your value equal my value? Yes, that looks great. And then here's a very important question. Do you plan on sending email marketing to these contacts? Yes, I do. How did these contacts get signed up? They filled out a form on my website. And maybe some of them, maybe 10% purchased a product from me, but we cannot just email them willy-nilly about sending them an email once a week after they purchase something. They have to have signed up for that newsletter or that email daily thought or whatever that is. They have to have known and opted in for that. So just because they purchase something doesn't mean that they've opted in to hear from you every day for the rest of their lives. If they've attended an event, I was given an attendee list. That is not an opt-in. They signed up at my booth. You have to make sure that they know exactly what they signed up for. Did they sign up for a drawing and they know nothing about your newsletter that you're going to send every day? Or did they sign up for an ebook? Then yes, that's totally fine, knowing that they clicked on that or that they checkboxed something on that form they filled out at the booth. They entered a contest by giving me their email. Well, they entered the contest, but that did not give you the opportunity or the permission, I should say, to send them marketing information for the rest of their lives either. So you have to be super transparent with information to them so that they will not mark you as spamming. Personal interaction, social media, all of these things have different views. So just because my mom is signed up, or just because she's my mom doesn't mean she wants to get my emails. So think about that. Social media, they did not opt in, but there are ways around that. You can put a link on your social media for them to opt in to, and it puts them straight into Infusionsoft. There's some fun ways to use social media with that, and we're very good at that with Infusionsoft through an association or membership, etc. So just kind of go through and read through things, making sure that this list that you're putting in is compliant. Which service provider have you been sending this list through? I used MailChimp. Single opt-in. And how long have you been emailing this list? Oh, about 2 to 3 years. And then when was the last time that you sent an email to this list? I would say 1 to 3 months, because I did not get my last newsletter out. And how many emails per month will these contacts be sent? Safely about 1 to 5. And then who are these people? This is my current list. Click on next. Oops, how did they sign up? Need to get rid of that and click on next. This is giving us a little preview of where those fields are going to match up to. First name, last name, everything looks good. Contact notes, met at the winter conference. Tags, prospect, newsletter, event attendee. Everything looks great. Now, here's a little secret. You can add, so let's pretend that this import list had like 1,000 people on it. We can run an action here, meaning we can create something for this specific list. So let's run an action, add a new action, and you can add or do something, all of these things, toward this list. But in this case, we just want to apply a tag. So we're going to apply a tag to the entire list. Apply, remove. Scroll back down. And it says to apply or remove, we want to apply, and let's create a new tag. We have all of the tags that are in my Infusionsoft right here, but I want to apply a new one. Create. Let's do our date here. So we have 10/3/17 list in my prospect category. And again, the categories are just to keep them organized. Create this tag, save, and done. Now this is adding that date to all of my contacts. I can view the list and see John and Mindy are in here. Now, there's a couple of different ways to view this list as well. So let's also take a look at John. So John, remember we had all these quick action, these are called interactive. This is the interactive view. We can take action upon them right here. Take a peek at the tags that are associated with him. So we have prospect, newsletter, event attendee. This one here, imported, is a default tag that gives you a time and date that import was created. And then this one is the one that I had put on for everybody. So 10/3/17 list in my prospect category. Now let's take a peek at Mindy as well. Now Mindy has that same tag, 10/3/17 list, prospect category, but she's a customer and a newsletter. So it imported and created these tags that were in that CSV file under tag, and they were all separated by a comma. So it put them into different piles inside Infusionsoft. So let's do a search and show you a couple of different ways to look at this list. So always doing a new search. We want to look at everybody that wanted to come to the barbecue. So we're going to type in our tag section here, MHS Contacts Family Friendly Outdoor Barbecue. That was on the survey. Let's see how many want to come to that. We have 61 that would like to have a family-friendly barbecue. So from there, I could click on all of them, go to Actions, and send them a broadcast right from here and say, hey guys, we are going to have a barbecue. Get your family ready. We're going to blah, blah, blah. You know, whatever that message is going to be. But you're speaking to only the people that are interested because you know their interest you know the interest in that because they filled out that form and they own that tag. Family-friendly barbecue right here. Now let's look at this list in a different view. We have the interactive view where you can hover, take action right here, do inline editing, but then we also have the grid view. Oops, go over here. The grid view allows us to see just everything in a list. It's kind of an easier view. There's no action taken, only to email. But then you also could take here, click everybody, and then you can take these actions or go back to the interactive view and take these other actions. So let's go see how to do a search, another kind of a search. So let's go do that country search that Iltaf was asking about. So in the address section, we want, oh, I'm sorry, I wanted to do a new search. So contacts, you want to make sure that you're always doing a new search. And there is no search in here, so it's allowing us to, that's kind of the beginning section. Let's go to address, and we want to find country. So here's the billing country. So I want to find everybody in the United States. And save, or search, I mean. And I have 1,929 that are in the United States. Then I can take action upon that. Click on the top box, or you can just select specific people to email to that are part of the United States country search. Let's do another search. New search. So it wipes out those 1,900 people. And let's do something like, I want to find out how many people do not have an email address in my contact records. So email, and it's not starts with, it's doesn't contain. Let's do an @ sign. So if they don't have an @ sign, that means they don't have an email address. So search. Come on. And I've got 436 people that do not have an email address. And so what does that mean? I would need to call them or send them snail mail to reach out to them. New search. And let's do lead score. I want to see everybody's lead score that's greater than 4. Search. And what this does is it's telling me that these guys are engaged, and I can create a report that says exactly this. So let's save them as engaged. Engaged. Save. Now we've created this saved search, and it's over here on my right-hand side. Engaged. But we also have all these other saved searches. So I don't want to forget about this. I want to be able to work this list. So we're going to actually put that on our dashboard. So let's go do that. We're going to hover over, go to our dashboard. You may not have dashboard on here yet, so it's also found in the little house. Hover, you've got basic training, initial setup, and then here's your dashboard. So mine looks a little different, of course. So let's add a widget. We're going to get rid of a couple if you don't need them anymore. Add a widget. Now we can add all of these different pieces on there. If you are in sales and you have a pipeline to work every day, you're going to want the pipeline stages widget on your dashboard. It would make your life so easy. I like to use the custom statistics. I like the look of it. You also could use a saved search or saved report widget. I just don't like the look of it. So let's add to dashboard, and that's personal preference. So saved search, and it's a contact search that I did, and I also want the engaged list. So let's find engaged. You could change the name here. So this is 4+ flames, and save. So the search is called engaged, but I just changed it right there. Now what this does is allows me to click on that 88. It's a live link that takes me right back to that list, so I can start working it. So maybe on Tuesdays I work my 4s, and on Wednesdays I work the 5 list, or whatever you're going to do. So let's go and add another search to that. Back to dashboard. And it says add another stat. So go ahead, click on it. And I already have some saved searches going, so let's go to contacts. And I want to find out everybody in my list that has an alto voice or sings alto, because I'm also a choir director. So 29 people sing alto. So from here, I can click on the 29 because that's important to me on my weekly, to send them a weekly email and say, hey, I've got a musical number that I need altos for on Saturday morning. Who can attend? And I can send them a specific email, not to the sopranos or the tenors or the basses. It's only to the altos. And that's what I need. So I've gotten to know my list very well. I know exactly who they are and what their interests are. And that's super important because Infusionsoft is so powerful in that way. So then I can take this, send to all the altos, actions, and send a broadcast straight away right here. Let's go back to my dashboard. Now, just to kind of go over what we have gone over today. So we added a new contact two different ways, but know that they come in from you can add from an internal form. Let's go look at, I think it was Sam that we added. Let's go look at Sam's contact record in detail. So here's Sam, first name, last name, company, job title, person type, prospect, customer, partner, personal contact, lead source, where'd they come from, Facebook lead, newspaper, phone lead. It just doesn't matter where they come from. Well, it does matter, but you can create an ROI on this area. So lead sources have a setup area that you can create the time and the date and how long you ran the ad for and how many people came in through that and decide if that was a worthwhile advertisement or an advertisement cost, I guess. Who the owner is, phone information, email, all their social media, their billing address. This is your shipping address and optional. Additional information, here's that birth date, anniversaries, anything else. Now here's the person notes. This would be that met at the winter conference, or my next door neighbor that loves chocolate chip cookies, or whatever that relationship note is going to be. And then here are the custom fields, if I had any in there. Consultant survey, Santa letters. So these I've obviously named. Custom fields is what you'll see and you can add to. So let's go back to the contact record. Here's the lead score. Requested the free ebook. Now let's go below here and find out what to do with them. So everything above the save bar is who they are, where they came from, and then everything below is actionable. What are we doing with them? So tasks and appointments, completed tasks, previous appointments, notes, form submission, and recent email history. So we have notes here, but then we also have notes here. This is relationship notes, not searchable. Let's go back to these notes. Now these are searchable. They are not relationship based. They are not, hey, we met at in the elevator and he gave me his business card. This is, I just spoke with him yesterday. He's super interested and we're gonna move forward. You can add a note. You also can add a template. So free consultation completed. It was a call. Free consultation completed. They completed their consultation. Wants to move forward. So what I did was I created a template that was for the general information, but I had a little extra I wanted to add. And I want to notify my supervisor and also send a carbon copy and save. Now in that note section, it's showing updated on 10/3, who did the note, who created the note, and then what the note was, that it was a template and that they completed their free consultation, wants to move forward, and it's date stamped. It is searchable so that someone else comes in and sees their last engagement with them. We also have form submission. So on 10/3, Sam filled out this form, or Monica filled out this form because it's this one happens to be an internal form. Recent email history, you'd be able to see received, sent, if it was a campaign email, notification, or if it bounced. You can send an email right from here and pull in templates. So I can click on templates, and I want to send my Santa reminder. And this is going to pull up my Santa template. I can change the content in here, and this is just a one-off email, and then I can send. Up here a little bit more, we have scored in recent activity. Sorry, we're over time just a minute. We have scored in recent activity. There's that filled out the form, when they filled out the form, and they got a +3. We have campaigns. What campaigns Sam is associated with. There's that form that we filled out, the internal form. Opportunities, orders, if you're using e-com, this is going to be part of that. Web profile and file box. So if Sam filled out a contract, he could scan it to you and you could upload it into his contact record here. All right. That was kind of a quick contact record detailing, but this is what we've gone over. We've added a new contact several different ways. We've done a simple import. We've gone over a couple of different ways to view the list, the interactive view and the grid view, different ways to search for a contact, how to save a search and then add it to your dashboard, and then how to tag a contact a couple of different ways. We have the internal, so you're inside the contact record itself, or we can go back to a search, contacts. And remember, we did the contact record. Let's just search everybody. And we added a tag through the contact record grid view, or the interactive view, I'm sorry, right here. And then we took a look at the contact record in detail. We have a couple of questions. So Iltaf is asking, are there tags with reference numbers? Yes, there are. So let's go look at where tags live. This is the kind of the back door into tags. So CRM, settings, and tag categories are right here. We have all the categories. So let's go to MHS categories, and I'll show you that there are 30 tags that live in there. And in my prospect tags, in my imported tags that don't have a category, coaching tags. So now let's go look at the tags themselves. Tags, and they all have an ID number. So the tag ID has a number here. And I want to go to the category of MHS and see how many tags are associated. MHS, I've got 30 tags. I could then click on all of those and export them if I wanted to, or print them. And then I can also see how many people are in those tags. So if I wanted to see who's all bringing a guest, So 21 people out of that survey are bringing a guest who wanted to come to a mixer only. 3. So I could get a really good gauge on who's doing what. Now, another question is, oh, Celine, I'm not sure if I said that right. Celine is asking, Celine, I think that's right, is asking if at the end we can look to see what shows up behind the $ in the interactive screen. We sure can. So here's the tag ID. Now let's go over to our contacts and quick search. If we just do a quick search with no criteria, it brings up your entire list. So 3,000 people are on my list. And now let's go into we're in the interactive view, but we want to see what's behind this little quotes and orders $ here. We can add a quote and add an order. So because this is my, let me make sure let me look up myself. That'd be better. I don't want to create an order onto somebody. All right, so this is my ID here. We're going to click on the $ and add a quote. So I want to quote them Santa letters. So I just click in Santa, and they want 2 letters. Come on. Now these 2 letters, that is a product in my account already. So, and they already have a $ amount to them. And I have done 2 letters for $17.50, but I'm going to give them a break. So I'm going to say $16. So I can change that in the quote. Quantity of 2, really, it's 1 because this product has 2 already associated. So we can click on continue. And this gives me some options. I can send a quote with no payment, send a quote with an allow payment later, send quote and require online payment. So let's just no payment options, that's fine. I then can view my quote or send. And I can change information in here as well. So I sent that. Now I should have used my regular email address so I could show you on the other end. But if I can, in fact, I don't know that we have time. I could send that and I would get an email that says, here's your quote. I click on the link and it opens it up. I then can accept that quote or decline. If I accept it, it will automatically add an order right here. Or if it didn't have a payment method associated to it, I can just add the order here. I could edit a promo code and add that. I could see what the product is and go into, this would take us into the e-com part of Infusionsoft. Does that make sense, Celine? Awesome. Does anyone have any other questions? We've taken you a couple of minutes, 10 minutes past the hour. I'm so sorry about that. Any questions? All right. Well, just wanted to say thank you so much for hanging on with me today, and I hope that you got a good start anyway to the CRM part of things. If you have any questions, when is this going to be reshown? So Lillian is asking if this is going to be reshown. I'm just going to send you the recording of this, so you'll get this in the afternoon. Judy will be sending an email that will have this as well as the email builder and campaign builder from last Wednesday and Thursday, and gives you access to our YouTube channel where we archive all of these live recordings on, as well as some other little tools in there. you'll get the tag information as well as the email compliance handbook. And then I'm going to put my email address and Judy's in the chat window. And then there you go. So you can email us with questions. And Lillian, yes, you sure can forward that on to your assistant when you get the recording. So thank you again for attending today. Again, I hope this was a valuable piece for you. Judy is teaching the email builder tomorrow and the campaign builder on Thursday. She is really a lot of fun. She has some fun examples of things and lets you learn very easily. So please attend if you have the time, and if not, you can watch last week's videos that we do the same topics, but when people ask different questions, we get off that topic just a little bit to answer those questions. So have a great rest of your day, and you are welcome to email either one of us with questions and concerns or whatever you need. So thank you so much. Use us as your resources and your coaches, and specifically tech support if needed. We want you to be comfortable and learn and have all the fun opportunities with using Infusionsoft. So have a fabulous rest of your day. Thanks. Bye-bye.